and we'll be marketing on both their platforms. So.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always. It's been a long day, I mean a long week, maybe a long year, so let's get something clear. We're gonna stock up on some party favors later on. Tell everybody they're invited, you should come along. Best to bring your good foot, ladies gonna be dancing on the ceiling. Cocky and appealing, possibly revealing. Getting sideways like a bridesmaid as she vibrate. If you a lightweight, hope you hydrate. We gon' tip the bottles back, busting out the fat sacks. People wearing costumes, chewing on a mushroom. Something like a wonderland, understand? Going down the rabbit hole with my kinfolk to another land. Damn, I said we do it like this. Magic carpet riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way, so everybody get sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, believers? I hope everybody's having a good night. Lunatics, I hope you're in the house. And if you know somebody who is on YouTube, who's an influencer, and they don't know shit, it's probably this guy right here. The whole effing believes. I guess we're going to have to say, because we can't use the other one because it's trademarked. But boy, did I call this son of a bitch wrong. So what happened with Luna, and are we still going to pump? Yeah, we're still going to pump. We're still going to have a nice big run. We just got delayed by a little bit because guess what? It turns out people are just, ugh, you know what I'm saying? So here's the deal. What happened is, and we're going to come over here and look at the chart. And by the way, we made this chart the other day. We put up the new pennant right here. And guess what? We are still just kind of trending in the pennant. Now, we had the massive sell-off, this sell-down that you see over here. This is because America, look, I can't even, if you're from overseas, I, on behalf of everything that is America, want to say, first of all, I'm sorry. Second, if you have oil, we're coming for you. And third, if you are hiding the oil that we think that you have, we're probably coming for you as well, because America, fuck yeah, right? So what ended up going on? So today, Jerome Powell from the Fed came out. The market was in a pretty decent place, right? It's doing pretty well. Vladimir Putin said, if you cross this line, you die. And then, of course, everybody crossed that line. He said, well, I meant this line, you die. And then everybody crossed that line. He said, I mean this one, you die. And then he got to the point where he said, okay, look, I am activating everybody in Russia. Everybody in Russia is now a troop. And then most of Russia said, bye, bitch. And they all jumped on planes and tried to get out of the country, to the point that the airports were shut down. So this is crazy stuff that's been happening, right? That's not why everything wasn't, that's why we didn't see a massive amount of burn, by the way. We didn't see a massive amount of burn because, and I'm just doing this because it's an opportunity, first of all, for people who take shit too seriously and people who just, where are you going to talk about that? That's Donald Trump's best friend or whatever it is that people say. I don't know, right? For whatever reason, we got a group of people in America that just, they've got to defend Vladimir Putin of all people. You know, he kills people, right? I mean, he doesn't kill YouTube influencers, I don't think. So I'll be fine. But he does kill people. He like throws them out windows at the Kremlin. So, and not small windows either. Big windows. You got to replace the glass. And it's like $800 for a pane, by the way. A lot. So Putin was doing his, Putin stuff where, I'm going to nuke everybody and I'll bomb the shit out of you if you don't let me steal this. If you don't let me steal your chicken nuggets. I'm going to kill you. You know what I mean? Vladimir Putin shit. So that happened, but not really the problem, right? The problem ends up being, and we're going to go Luna Classics over here so you can see it right now. Binance, they haven't burned shit. Binance wallet hasn't done anything. Binance, and matter of fact, you can come over here and you can look at where does it go? Luna Classic burnt. This is the wallets, and there's a tracker, by the way. I didn't do it in the video today, but you can see it's at bwallet_bot. And you can see right here, this is how much Luna and USTC are in each one of the Binance wallets. They have not touched anything in those wallets, which means that nobody has moved their Luna Classic at all on or off the chain. So there's no deposits, there's no withdrawals, there's nothing happening right now. And the reason is because they're still upgrading their system. So it turns out if you go to Binance, you can trade, and there's trading going on right now. Trading right now at 28.20. Risk. You get a notice here, a risk warning. The price of this token is subject to high volatility. So you get risk warnings, you get all of that kind of stuff, right? So there are two pairs. There's USD T and B USD. So those are being traded right now, but you can't take them out. You can't deposit and you can't withdraw. So we're not seeing the burn like we're supposed to be seeing. When you come back over here and you look at the dashboard and you see the burns, it's like 78 million. By the way, it's moving faster. It's moving way faster than it was this morning. We're at 78 million now. Volume is up significantly. The price, of course, the price action is at 28. I told you we needed to have a lot lower price in order to burn a lot more. But of course, we need everybody to be on board. And when I go back over here, again, Binance, they haven't burned anything. KuCoin hasn't burned anything. Anybody who is a large, quote unquote, whale here with some volume, not burning. Everybody is waiting. And I think they're waiting for Binance, to be fair, because I think that this is a brand new process. They're just now getting around to it. They're this is the first big burn on chain kind of thing that we've really ever had. So now we have to wait for these guys to enable it. And the last update that we got from Binance on Luna Classic was the 16th. They're letting you know that the risk is high and stuff like that. But when it comes to news, they haven't said right now that trading has been re-enabled. So we just have to kind of wait right now, wait for things to just kind of open up. And when they open up, then we're gonna get a news thing from Binance. They will give us like an update and markets, earn, finance. Jesus Christ! Now I forgot where the hell I am. We got to go over here, and then no, I don't want to go. There was a spot for news links there. Shit. I don't know where they are right now, but there's a spot for news links, and Binance, we're waiting for an update from Binance, waiting for an update from KuCoin. We're waiting for an update from DigiFinex, Bitcoin Turk. We're waiting for something from OKX. We're waiting for something Gita. Nobody has opened up for a massive amount of trading yet, so we're going to see what happens in the next little while. It'll happen, and then when it starts happening, then we're going to start seeing a significant amount of the supply start to burn. When we see that happen, then the interest is going to pick up. Everybody's going to be like, oh my God, now it's really happening. So it's just a matter of seeing that happen. In the meantime, where we are is basically in this channel, and we have to recognize Korean index is dumping. And to finish off, Jerome Powell, they came out and they said 75 basis points. We're going to do this, and the amounts priced in, and all of a sudden you started to see everything pump. And Ethereum, by the way, at one point, Ethereum pumped up to 1,420, I think it was. 1,412. Ethereum bumped up to 1,412. And he's given a speech, and everybody's like, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Everything's awesome. Everything's cool. And then all of the sudden, somebody asks him a question and he's like, I don't know. So he goes from sounding like we're getting through this and we're about to pump to I don't know. So then the market says, oh, he doesn't know shit. And, listen, the U.S. market, I hate to say it, just like any market, when there's money involved, it becomes a fickle thing. So it then did this enormous look. This is what happened when he came on. When he came on, we got this pump because people were like, yeah, baby, this guy's talking about he did what we want. He got 75 basis points. Everything's going to be cool. They're going to do another win by the end of the year. And they said they're going to do 1.25 total, which means that we're going to get a 50% rate hike in 2 months. Everything's going to be looking pretty sweet by then. And then he said something about, man, we just don't know about that data. And they were like, what? You don't know? And then everything just crashed from there. So we'll see it pick up again, by the way, very, very shortly. This is one where the American market got full of itself. It got tired of losses. And I think it just, kind of capitulated and sold out, right? So that caused the market to dump. And then that brings us to where we are right now, because it was on down the list. It was on to everywhere that you could possibly see a sell-off. You started to see a sell-off. So with Luna, and you're starting to see a little bit of a pump right here. I don't know if it's going to sustain itself as we get going, but so everything does their, the everything sells off, everything sells down. The DXY, by the way, I know for some of you this doesn't matter, but this is one of the most important things about these markets right now. The dollar has not been stronger, and I'm going to go here to a weekly chart, and I'm going to do this over the weekly. We're at a 111,685. The last time the dollar had this much value, 2002. This is crazy. So when people tell you, by the way, that Bitcoin has never been in what it's going through right now, they're being honest, because Bitcoin comes out right around here, and this is where the market is, where the dollar's struggling because of the financial crisis. And by the way, some of the shit that's happening right now, some of the everything that's going on with the Fed in the United States, everything that's going on with the world right now. Do you know why Bitcoin was invented? So that we didn't have to deal with shit like that from people like them. And guess what we're doing? We're dealing with shit like that from people like them because we didn't move fast enough to get out of this world economy and use Bitcoin as what it was meant to be, which is the hedge against all of this. So if we had all gotten in here, we'd all be way up here. I guess is the best way to look at it. But I mean, this is where we are. We got to make the best of it. We got to do something with it. So what we got to do right now, take a deep breath and just have a little bit of patience, because the time is coming. Luna Classic is going to start pumping. We're going to see it any little bit now. We bounced off the bottom here on support. Now, by the way, the longer we're in this channel, as you can see from these lines here, longer we're in this channel, the lower we're going to go. And I know, a lot of you, when I tell you this, you don't want to, you don't want it going lower, because I think you want, like an early move or something like that. And by the way, I know it's splitting hairs, but I think this is probably the best line right here. But I know that some of you don't want to see this go down ever. And, understanding the mechanics of the market sometimes is frustrating, because you're relying that we are going to pump and we'll pump, that we're going to have these moves. And like, again, like yesterday, I went on record predicting this shit right here, and I could not have been more wrong. I'm leaving it up there right now as a reminder, because I know it's a motto. It's a slogan. I'm always right. I'm not really always right. I just try to do the best that I can to give you the best information that I possibly can, based on the indicators and based on the information that's in front of me and that's in front of us. So we're all seeing the same thing, right? So best we can say at this point is once the burns start to happen and we get a real idea, then we're going to have a better idea about where the burn is going to go. So now we have to go over here, and we burned 79 million today. So I don't think this is a fair analysis. I think what we need is, we need to put a pin in this one and say, we burned basically 100 million. By the time the day's over, at this rate. We've got 5 hours left. So 79 million divided by 19 times 24. So when it's all said and done, we will have burned about 100 million in the first day. What we want is a billion, right? We want to burn a billion at least, because that's not a great number. And I don't know yet. By the way, Vegas Morph is sick and he's in bed. He might actually be in the chat. I did speak with a little bit earlier, and maybe he was going to pop in and say hi, but he's sick right now. And, some of this stuff was just unplanned. Like, they did not plan for all of these, for all of these CEXs to be like, oh, we're going to pause right now while we do our quote unquote upgrade, and then we'll have it launched pretty soon. So, for now, we just got to take it for what it is, deal with it, and wait for the next big play and the next big move. And I think we're starting to see it, because we're up to almost 29 at this point, and we're starting to see a little bit of a pump. And if we hit refresh over here, then we can see that we were at 1.74 million right now. So we're up 20 million on market cap and $582 million in volume, which is a pretty good number. We're still seeing the big volume over here on Binance. So that's where the burns are going to come from. And, let's face facts here. If Binance, which is 50% of this market, if Binance does their burns and they're 50% of the market, then we could reasonably assume, and we're going to be perfect on this, but we could reasonably assume that it would be about 200 million per day, right? Assuming that the burn was about the same as what's going on here. So then we could also take KuCoin, we could take all of these other ones, and we go down the list, and we can add 10% here and a couple percent here, and on down the line. As we continue to add all of these up, then we probably are burning a significant amount. So tomorrow I will start doing, we'll start looking at what the burn is, and then we'll see how much is being burned every day. Luna Classics already, or Lunk Penguins, they're already doing it. So I'm not going to have to do anything special, but we'll at least kind of keep it up. And by the way, here you go. For those of you that haven't seen it right now, this is the Terra Rebels website. It was just launched today. And this is a little bit about them and how you can join the community through Discord, Twitter, and GitHub. Terra Rebels is a decentralized organization having organically come together with the common goal of revitalizing the Terra Classic ecosystem through the efforts of volunteers. By the way, 3 months old, okay? We endeavor to provide and deliver software clients to the community and validators, having reinstated governance and staking and encoded the burn tax into the core product. It is our hope to continue serving the community effectively far into the future. There's a roadmap coming soon. Some real surprises that you're going to see on the roadmap that are not allowed to be talked about yet, that they're going to really start to, we're going to start to see some things rolling out. Terra Rebels are a group of seasoned developers and business professionals working towards shared goals and interests, an organization born from the larger Terra Classic community through the use of internal governance, mirroring that of the Terra Classic governing infrastructure. Each team member is represented and capable of having a voice inside of the organization. Here is the team. Whoops. By the way, this site might not be fully operational yet, this battle station, so to speak. Yeah, so it's not entirely ready yet. Here is the white paper. There are currently 24 pages to the white paper. I would encourage everybody take a few moments if you are seriously interested in this project and what's going on. Then I would seriously ask you to at least consider kind of reading through here to see where we are. And doesn't really give you where we're going. There's no roadmap, but it does kind of give you the path to getting here so far. And it's actually pretty interesting. So there's the Terra Rebels website. Also, keep refreshing, checking every few hours, and just look and see if there's a change in the Binance hot wallet, and see if you start to see any changes in the number of tokens coming in and out. That's when you'll know their burn has started, because coming over here and looking at this, you're really not seeing it. But once they start burning, you're going to start to see a significant run on all of this. So again, I don't want you guys to don't get disheartened. Don't get upset. I know everybody wants to see this thing pump, and everybody wants to see it moon as quickly as possible, and we're going to get there. But a little bit of patience is what we're going to have to ask for at this moment. As far as the broad overall market, you can see over here, like on, we got a big sell down over here on, here we go. On Volt, we had somebody sell off 86.90. They sold off 90 ETH worth of their bag. And I don't think that person is going to be here for a long time. But who knows? Maybe they got a giant amount. I don't have time to look at it right now, but price down 69.35. Deconnect, however, I continue to tell you guys, and Deconnect continues to impress, is currently in this down market where Ethereum is going to shit. Deconnect is still trading up 94.05. They just had their pitch in one of the spaces. It was called Worldwide Crypto Spaces. Had over 100 people in it, but it's now trading almost at its all-time high, while the rest of the market is bleeding. I'm still giving away 1,500 Deconnect. So, and that's going to be tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning on my show, I'm going to be giving away 1,500 Deconnect. And then Volt Inu, by the way. And I look, this was crazy to me. A Radio Shack, of all places, Volt Inu is now listed on Radio Shack, Ethereum and BSC chain. And you can go to swap at app.radioshack.org. Radio Shack now has a swap certified by Certic, and they have stable farms, they have swaps, they have pools. Radio Shack has themselves set up pretty nicely, and I hear there's a Radio Shack token as well. So things are kind of, the whole market is getting kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like, whoo. Now let's get into some of the questions here. I'm gonna try to get back to the beginning. But we'll be skipping around again, guys. If you want me to see your super chat, $1, $2, whatever it is, the minimum amount for a super chat, that will at least get it in front of my eyes. If you really need a response or want a response from me, it's the best I can do in that regards. If you have $500 only, what will you buy with it? I mean, would you distribute the 500 into 3 to 5 coins or only one coin? And what is the coins? Okay, so if you're asking me what I would do with $500, I would take my $500 and I would put 300 into Ethereum right the fuck now. Actually, you know what? If it were me, I would probably put 500 into Ethereum right now. And then I would start watching these technical indicators. And then from 1250 to up here, I would probably sell it because that's about a 10% increase. And then the fees are pretty nominal right now. So I'd probably make like $40 off of that. And then I would wait for another dip, and I would wait for this thing to do something like this, come back down to one of these. And then I would just kind of wait a little bit, and I would try another little play to get it to run one more time, make a few bucks off of it. Then I would turn it into $600, and then I'd put 200 into Luna Classic. I would put 200. This is just me, by the way. And if you're looking for a long-term play, I would say that you really want to do as much as you can to be in those top 100 altcoins. So I would put 200 in Luna Classic. I would put 200 in Crow. And I've been with it since the beginning, and I still feel really strongly about where it's going. So I would put 200 more into Volt. Just kind of sit on it and let it ride for a long time. By the way, this is their second. I'm going to assume Radio Shack might be a tier 1 because everybody knows who Radio Shack is. If it's not yet, it will be. But I would buy on this dip right now because that is a perfect buy-in opportunity. If you are averse to that and you're looking for something in the top 100, which is definitely fair enough, then I would say my third alternative option to that, other than Luna Classic and Crow, because we're looking at like risk asset and stuff like that, I would look at Avalanche. And Avalanche is down significantly right now. But when you zoom out on Avalanche, you start to look at where it's gone, then you're looking at almost a 10x that I would think is almost guaranteed in that market. And I think that everything that we're talking about right now would probably do a 10x over time. So you would turn that 600 into 6,000. And then you would have $6,000 going into part of the bull market, and you'd be able to turn that 6,000 into something more. So that's just me nitpicking. You know what I mean? If, however, you were looking at day trading and you were going to try to turn $500 into $1 million, there's only one answer, and that answer is Bitcoin. Do some, I mean, and if you had to, go to Debt Connect. I do educational content over there, and I really kind of tell you what to look for on these charts and stuff like that. But go find yourself support lines, and we're on a support line right now with Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Go to the hour charts, and let's see where we are. We're at the bottom. We're on a support line right now. Buy Bitcoin down here. Let it run up here. Sell it. Wait for the dip. Buy it again. You know what I mean? Just continue to do it and continue to. And by the way, if I'm doing that, I would be doing it on these, and I would be using Chandelier right here. And I would be buying when it says buy, and I'd be selling when it says sell. Most of the time, you'll make money off of it. Sometimes you get caught in like a bad trade. Like you can see right here, this was a bad trade today because it told you to buy right here 18.5, and then it told you to sell again at 18.4. So you got wrecked for a few bucks on this one. But generally speaking, you're going to come down here, and it's going to tell you to buy here, and it's going to tell you to sell up here. Set your tolerance to a different level. And by the way, if you don't want to do it on the 5 minute or anything like that, go longer, like go to the 1 hours, and then look at where you're told to buy, look at where you're told to sell, and then just follow the instructions. And I think that thing does pretty good. So that's what I would do if it were me. All right. Yeah, there's a 2 hour. So the rectangle on the 2 hour, there's actually a rectangle on all the charts. It's just right there. And that's called the golden pocket. And so we have a volume profile, and this is the visible range volume profile that you can see over here. I should probably, while I have it up, I should probably leave it up, and then I'm gonna do the row size 124, and then okay. That refines it, makes it a little bit smaller. But you can see over here, or as it kind of move outwards here, you can see here that there's a gap. And that rectangle is because if Bitcoin were to get into this volume range for a significant length of time, then it should run up a few $1,000s into 28,000. And everything in crypto is going to benefit from that happening. So that's why it's there. It's just kind of, it's actually, I put it down there yesterday, but it was really kind of a remnant of a bygone time. But when you move out here, even when you zoom out and you look at it right here, let me turn off support, by the way. But if you zoom out and you put it right here, then you can see right here, there's just absolutely no volume. And the more volume you see, the yellow is buy and the blue is sell. So you can just see that all there is basically just this little run right here that just has no volume. So once you get your Bitcoin into this sort of pocket here, then there's no resistance and there's no level that's going to stop you, and that you should rapidly run through that, just like we did last time right over here. And this was January of 21. So that's why it's there. Long explanation for that, but it's what we do, man, right? What are the stipulations of being considered a tier 1 exchange? So thank you for the $5 bomb, Taylor. Let me give you that answer, and give me 1 second here. Let's close that out. Over here. To me, it's hit or miss, right? But it's top 35. Top 35 exchanges. When you go look at, and by the way, you're looking at spot most of the time. Spot exchanges. Number 1 is Binance. Number 2 is FTX. Then Coinbase, Kraken, Binance US, KuCoin, Gate.io. On down the line. Till you get to Bittrex, which is number 26. But it's generally the top 35, all the way down to OKCoin. All of these and up, somebody can argue that it's top 30, but it's a ranking system, and the top third is considered top tier exchanges. So that's what they are. And then, of course, you can say top 20, but there's over 100 exchanges, and there's like 3 tiers. It's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and there's 272 exchanges. So, top 30, top 40, that's kind of where it is. So that's why it's considered a tier 1. And by the way, for Bittrex, they've actually got a decent volume. There's Bittrex and there's Bittrex Global. They're both trading under the same pair thing right now, but they're one of them has like 1 million followers, and one of them has like 85,000 followers on Twitter. So that's a lot. And then when you start looking at their, if you look at all their stuff, then they only trade 3 meme coins total. If you were to go look and see what it is that they're trading, you're going to see, and then here's their volumes for some of these, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Space. Like they don't have, they're like most of these other ones. They don't have a lot of trading pairs. They just have like different types of trading pairs, and they try to keep it as simple as possible. And there's a few more that you can load, but so tier 1. And thank you for the 729, and you are welcome. Yeah, Volt Millionaires. Look, there are a couple of tokens out there that are just going to be, they're just going to blow the charts up at some point, right? And I have a lot of them, right? I can't believe everyone was wondering why no burns for Luna Classic today. 2 biggest exchanges phase all the assets. Also, will everybody go to a different exchange if Binance won't off-chain burn? Richard, thanks for the $20 bomb. The answer to that is I don't think so. I think that we'll see. Well, there will be some. You can't account for everybody, but if somebody, I think there are going to be some people who want to. There's going to be some people who want to do burns just because they want to be part of this. Listen, this is a giant community. The community for Luna Classic at this point is not taking a back seat to any other tokens, right? And let's turn off, we're going to leave the EMA on for right now. But we're going to shut off chandelier, and we're going to shut off our volume profile so that we have a cleaner picture here. There's obviously going to be people who move because they want to just do a pure burn. There's going to be a lot of people experimenting too, by the way. And I don't think people don't want to be taxed, of course. By the same token, there are a lot of people who will not mind losing their coins if they know that the price is going up. What they're going to ask is that everybody do it. Like, that's basically what's going to be asked of you is, do some trading, make this thing move a little bit for us. And if you do that, then everybody's going to be helping one another. And if everybody's helping one another, then we're all going to burn a little bit faster. There's only so many people who are going to be able to sit on the sidelines and not burn anything. By the way, I'm going to be one of them because I'm staking and I don't give a shit. Plus, I'm also a guppy in this. So, if you have 10 million or less, then you're just kind of sitting on. If you have 20 million or less, then you're still just, you're kind of a guppy in this whole thing. So, but I have 104,000 that I've earned so far, 357 in USTC. And then over here from the last batch, I have 213 that I earned, and then 480 over there that I earned as well. So nothing about mine has changed. Again, in about 8 more days, I'm going to undelegate from all nodes, and then I'm going to consider somebody else. Unless all nodes, I don't know. We're going to see. Vegas Morph has his own, by the way. And if you go down here, you'll find there is one called Vegas Morph. Vegas Validator. Here we go. So there is a Vegas Validator. And you can delegate your Luna Classic to one of the developers so that there is that they have voting, I guess. I really don't know the reason. Now, and remember, by the way, Vegas just happened to be somebody who came up with 3568 proposal, which was the 1.2% burn tax. So he's going to have a special place in everybody's heart, at the end of this, because he came out with the thing that we now are seeing live and that we're seeing active. So I think we're all going to like that guy in the long term. eToro only has a small and limited supply. So we're going to see. Mikey, we've gotten about 80 million burned so far. And that's not a lot. But we also haven't had any burn from Binance yet. We haven't had any burn from KuCoin yet. All of the bigs have not burned anything at this point. So the total burn right now is 79,534,417. Now, what the best thing that we can say about that is that's more than we burned at any point in a very, very, very long time. And if you go over here to the Luna supply alert, which there's the Luna supply alert right here. You can see what's burning, by the way. You can see when something enters the circulating supply. You can see it right there. But just 8 minutes ago, 416,000 were burned. 411,000 were burned 23 minutes ago. 807,000 were burned 38 minutes ago. 800,000 were burned 53 minutes ago. 1.4 million were burned 1 hour ago. 175,000, 289,000, 481,000. So the burns have started. Here's 5 million being burned in one fell swoop. So, and this is, 3.8 million. So there's a significant 5.7 million being burned right here, 3.5 million being burned right here, 1.3 million here. And you're seeing it continue. But if you go back, this is just 7 hours, by the way. So you're seeing, you are seeing a significant burn that you did not see before. But if you go back here to 24 hours ago, here you go. This was yesterday, 970, 1,300, 8,200, 5,800, 1, 4, 5,000, 1,000, 2,800, 2, 17, 12, 1, 220,455, 4. That, by the way, that 220,000, that's MEXC. That's MEXC, or that's lunatics that are burning. But now you're seeing a massive change in the amount of and supply of what's being burnt. So, let's remember, even though we didn't get the start that we're looking for, we didn't get the cooperation so far of all of the, and they did say, by the way, that they're doing the network upgrade, and they haven't finished their network upgrade yet. So that was the reason that they gave for not doing it so far. If 3 trillion isn't burned, I believe we only get to a penny. That sounds about right. That would sound about right to me. But here's the thing so everybody, look me in the eyes, guys. We got to do this again. Everybody needs to remember where we are, remember where we were, and think about where we're going. In order to get there, we need 2 things: time and a little more time. The first way that we get there is by burning some supply. The 1.2% burn is the first of multiple levels of burns. This is the platform by which everything else will spring. October 1st, all nodes and several other of the Terra Station accounts that are doing staking by voting power here, and you can read up on them, by the way. Interstellar Lounge, Orion, let me rephrase it. I don't know about Interstellar. Orion, BTC, and all nodes, and LunkDAO. They're using the fees that they earn to burn through the end of the year. So October, November, and December, they're basically burning like half of the fees that they get. Here we go. Commission will increase to 5% after October 1st. All fees earned in 2022 will be burnt. That's all nodes. So it might be worth it to leave it there. That's only when you take it out, by the way. Orbital command. No, I need in the right order here. Orion. So Orion's doing the same thing, but it's not listed on the screen here. They may not be as sharp. But, all these guys are doing other burns. So, and I know I didn't show you the screen. God damn it. But here's the thing. That is happening. You've got your initial 1.2% burn. Now you've also got the validators doing a burn, which is in addition to what you've already got. And you've only got, 30% of the supply is even participating in the burn, I think, at this point. The majority of the supply is still being upgraded on their networks. So we don't have any details. We don't have any data for that. It is entirely possible that something crazy happens in the next couple of days where we start to see a significant amount like that start to burn. But then let's take it a step further. 4095 has not been implemented yet, but 4095 means that there's a fee on every station transaction that you do every single day. When you make a trade, when you make a vote, when you do anything on the station, it costs Luna Classic. Now, when you make that move, then it costs you a small amount. It's not a significant amount, but all of those amounts from everybody every day, 50% of those are going into a pool. 50% of them are going to keep everything afloat, basically, pay the bills, so to speak. But the other 50% are going to validators so that validators get better rewards. 10%, 5% goes to the development team, which is the Terra Rebels, so that they can continue to provide you with what they're doing right now. And then the remaining 35% is also going to be burned, and they're going to do that once per month. So, if there's 1 billion tokens in transaction, then 35% of that billion will get burned every single month. So we're looking at this one little piece. And to be fair, I'm not impressed with that one little piece. And I don't think anybody else should be impressed with the 1.2% burn so far. The fact that it exists, we should all recognize, and we should be impressed by the fact that they got us here. The question, however, is on that go forward basis. Like, what do we do? What do we do to keep it going? Right. Well, the next step is going to be, and it's early, but they're now working diligently, and I mean to get it done as quickly as possible, at repegging USTC and Luna Classic into another and new stablecoin. So in the meantime, you have to remember that not only Luna Classic, but USTC is burning every transaction. So that being said, we have to consider that there's going to be a run on the value of both of the tokens. And let's go over here and let's actually look at this. And you can see right here on our Luna Classic, we're going to pop that out, and then we're going to duplicate, and then we're going to do USTC on this one. All right, so 45 million volume over here, 324 million market cap. None of this is burning, by the way. Remember, the burns, it's going to take a little bit of time before everybody's doing the burn. So most of the stuff that we're doing today has just ended up being a waste, and it just doesn't look great. But there are significant burns that are about to happen, that are about to come. Okay, so we got this and this right here, and they're both going to be burning. So what I would say is, let's just have a little patience, see this whole thing kind of play itself out, and then we'll be rewarded. I mean, there's nothing else to it beyond that, right? So, by the way, the wrapping of the USTC and the Luna Classic, one of the tenets of this was in the diminishment of the supply here. They want to get the supply down to 250 million so that they can repeg it. So I want you to look at where we are right now, 9.8 billion in circulating supply, which they want to be down to 250 million. In order to get it down there, they're going to have to do some significant deal making. Some of that deal making is going to be that they're going to offer people Luna Classic for USTC, and they're going to convert it. And those that do it voluntarily will probably get a specific reward. Those that refuse to do it will probably get a forced reward of less than what everybody else gets. You know what I mean? Like they might be holding on to it for like positive price action or something like that. Like, for example, me over here, I have, 480 over here. And then in my stake, I have 357. So I have 820 roughly. So I would want to have my 820 bucks. But if I could trade in my wallet, the USTC, I have 480, and swap it for Luna Classic, how much do I get? 52,390. That's not enough to make me make that play. Like, I don't want to make the play for that. If this thing pumps up to like 8, 9, 10 cents, maybe it's worth doing, so I'm going to hold it for a little while, and I'll remove the delegation before all nodes charge me a fee, just so I have a clean amount. And then, with that, maybe I'll make a decision there, and we'll see what the pump looks like. But for right now, I'm just going to sit on the sidelines, relax, chill, make some videos, keep you guys informed as best I may every single day so that we know exactly what's going on. And, maybe we can get back to normal. Now, one more piece to getting back to normal. This market is in trouble, and I don't know if it's going to be in trouble forever. It's not going to be forever. I guess I shouldn't even bother saying something like that. It's not going to be in trouble forever. It's just in trouble right now. And you can see right here that, this is what the market looks like. And when the market was this bad just recently over here, it had a nice run to get back up. Now, I'm going to zoom in here, and we're going to look at that. And, let's kind of, so here we are. This is the bottom, June 18th. This is a couple days after we found out that this was, remember, we didn't find out until July But this is when Elon Musk turned into a paper-handed, no-good hoe. This is when Elon Musk sold all of his Bitcoin from Tesla in order to have cash on hand in case he needed to buy Amber Heard something or whatever the he was going to do with his money. But this is when he sold off all of his Tesla Bitcoin and absolutely bottomed out and tanked the market while he's out there talking crazy shit about go forth and multiply and how his cousin and his sister is also his mom, like in the craziest shit. That how can you support this guy? Like, that's crazy, right? I mean, we can all agree. Look, we can all agree that if your sister is also your mom, that's some crazy level shit, right? I mean, we can agree on that. I hope we can agree on that. If you're arguing with me over that one, I'm not the problem. You're the problem. You know what I mean? But yeah, so anyway, Elon's sister is also his mom. So let that sink in for a little bit. But he did sell off everything over here and drop the market, bottom the market out. Then we hit this, we got a little pump, and then we hit the bottom again, but we didn't hit nearly as much bottom the second time. Then we did it again, and then we started our ascent, and we started moving back up. We got up to 1.16 trillion, and from 766 to 1.6 trillion, it's a significant sort of move. So and by the way, we have history of resistance in this area, right? So what is the total that we got from there? So we made this move to this move, and that was a 52% increase in, what is that, from June 19th to August. So we had 50% bump in everything in 2 months. So that's not bad. So now we have to consider what's going to happen. We're back here down, by the way. Let's remember that we're looking here at this kind of level here. And I said this was probably the level, and I was doing that from way back. So we're not down here yet, but there we go. So this is the spot where we get the biggest bump, right? We hit this bump. We hit this bump. So what we're looking for now is maybe to hit this one more time. If we don't hit this one more time, then, maybe that we can see some upward momentum start to build, but I don't know. So it looks possible is all I can say. But the most logical scenario here to play out is going to be this. We got some more downside. We're going to hit that. And then just like over here, we're going to start to make some kind of play. And, what if it looks like this? What if it looks like, what if it looks like this run right here, right? Right there. So that takes us back to 1.6 billion. And listen, we can look all over these charts and we find similar patterns playing themselves out all over the place. So, it's entirely possible that we're going to see it. But at some point, we're going to have to start seeing some upside movement. So if we're looking for, let's look at this and let's look at this right here to here. And then let's look, can we find a place where we match up at all? And we kind of match up right here, right? That's not too far off. And the end result of that was way down. Let's look at something more positive. Let's see if we've seen this pattern before. We've seen this pattern right here. We've seen a similar pattern right here. I mean, I think we should be able to agree that this pattern is really what crypto is, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 bumps, 1, 2, 3, 4 bumps. And then we have a top up here, which is the fifth one. Then we have 1, 2, 3 down here, 1, 2, 3 down here. And then we have a bottom move down here. And maybe this one is here. This one is these two. And then that final one is this one right here. And that's over here. And then, I mean, this thing, it just, we've discovered the crypto pattern, right? And here it is again, right here. And by the way, it's not always going to be perfect, but, we get an idea that it happens in cycles, it happens in waves. It happens in patterns, but we see this thing over and over and over again. We see it here, and it pumps and pumps and pumps and pumps, and it can lead to a pump or it can lead to a dump. So, well, shit, I guess we don't know anything about that one. But this right here, by the way, should go down a little bit more. And then this part right here should be up to right about there. Hope that looks right. Yeah, that hits the most points of contact. So, that's kind of how this whole thing is looking right now. So that's not bullish, by the way. We can see this, by the way. Look. Oh, and here's one more thing. Look at this right here, and then look at this right here, and then tell me how similar you see these two being. And we'll take a bar pattern here. We're gonna go here to here. Then we're gonna look at this, and we're gonna take this. This is a long term, by the way. This is from July of 17 to March of 19. And I think that pretty much plays out right here. Yeah, I think that pretty much plays out like right here. It is incredibly similar. Now, of course, it's going to be drawn out over time because timing is different on some of these things. But I mean, you can see like we're playing this out the same way that we played it out before, right? It's at least similar, right? We're looking at a lot of similarities that we wouldn't normally just kind of be seeing, so to speak. So let's take a few seconds here. Here's our top. Here's our top. Here's the little edge before. There's the little edge before. Here's the secondary top. Here's the secondary top, right? Then we move down, 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 and we test the bottom, which we tested the bottom here. Then we tested the bottom a second time, and we tested the bottom a second time. We've done this, right? And then what happens after we test it a second time? What happens after the second test is this right here. So this seems to be a testimony of what crypto would look like in the future. This is to how far back? How am I going here? Jesus Christ, I'm taking this. This is February of 2024, by the way, saying that we're going to be at this level. But this is the part right here that matters. This for me says February and March of 2023, we're at $2 trillion in the market. If we get the same pattern, so if all of these things are equal and they all play out the way that they've always played out before, then where do we end up? And that's what this is. And then over here, it tells me that at some point we hit, was that 10 trillion? We have a 10 trillion market cap, and this is in 2024. So this is 25, 26. In 2026, maybe we have a $10 trillion market cap. But for right now, we're just worried about this one right here. It says, and it tells me, it tells me that right here, we're going to have a significant run. And whatever you got in your bag right now would just 3x at least overall, with Luna Classic being one of those that's just going to get a really nice pump going. Ethereum should have a nice pump. There's a lot of things out here that, we might see have significant moves and make significant strides over time. But yeah, that's how we can kind of guess what the market is going to look like. So we'll take that over here and, kind of look at, we can't do that yet over here because we don't have enough data. We don't have a real reason to kind of, rely on the data, so to speak. The best we can say at this point is we need to bust around this channel a little bit and start to break some of these lines. And in order to do that, ball's in your court, CZ Binance. By the way, I'm assuming CZ Binance watches me every day. I don't know why. I don't know why I would even think that, but I'm pretty convinced he knows. He knows what's up. So anyway, that's where we are, guys. I don't want to make I don't want to make another prediction tonight because I don't want to look like an even bigger asshole tomorrow. So I'm gonna say at the very best, we'll probably end up at 3,000, maybe 3,300 if we get on at least a run. I wanted to see a more significant run, and you saw it was happening. It was starting right here, but factors are just working against us at this point. So now I'm going to delete that since I said it. Anyway, so we're going to delete that for right now. We're going to be back in the morning. We're going to see how this market goes overnight. I assure you, by the way, that this thing is it's a matter of time before it starts going. All the indicators are in place. This right here, we're minting higher. We're minting higher lows, lower highs. You can see this right here. We're consolidating. It's all moving in a specific direction for that next big power move to the upside. So now it's just a matter of time. It's a little bit of a waiting game. We want to see what happens with Binance. We want to see how this thing plays itself out. And then once we see that and once we get that, then we're going to find out for sure. Thank you for the $2 bomb. Will big Cexs retro pay for the delay? No, I don't think it never works that way. Titans play. We're just going to be ass out. Like, but we're not getting anything for that. We won't get any compensation. They won't do anything positive for us for having done this. So we're just going to twiddle our thumbs and we're not going to get anywhere with it. But 1 day's delay. And guys, listen, if you listen to me for any length of time, if you listen to me for any length of time, my opinion is the lower the price, the more burn we have. So if we had this price down where I said it should be, which was in the 3010, then we would have burned 3 times the amount of supply that we already have. And by the way, I don't think that we're burning a significant amount of supply at this point. I do think that we have to burn far more supply, but it still remains that that's how much we would have burned. We would have burned 3 times as much. And same thing with Binance, same thing with any of these other places. So free Do Kwon. Yeah, free Do Kwon, by the way. Do Kwon is just being charged with, look, 40 billion comes and goes, right? What? Seriously. It's bad when you lose that kind of money. You shouldn't lose that kind of money. But he can't, for the rest of his life, be sad, angry, and upset with himself, or you guys can't be sad, angry, and upset with him forever. We all at some point have to move on. And in order for this all to work out to our advantage, by the way, we need him to not be in prison, getting sucker MC'd by some giant guy. So it would be real nice. And by the way, here's what I have in the main wallet at this point. I have 152 Luna. I have 7 extra that I got from staking rewards because I staked that already. And then over here, I have 26 more, which is coming out from delegation sometime in the next 6 months. And then the bigger amount is coming out sometime by November of 2024. So we still probably have 2 more years before we see that. It's a long-term thing. But if Luna, if he does this shit again and he stable token, he stable coins this whole goddamn thing back together. And then at the end of this, I have, 107. I have 259, 266, 270 tokens, and they're worth $10 a piece. It's $2,700. So I got, at $10 a piece, I got $2,700 just for not doing anything with these tokens. So worth it. And if it goes up to $50, be even nicer. It'll be worth dinner in America. Oh, swing from the floor up. By the way, for those of you that are paying attention, ETH looks like it's starting to have a nice little run of recovery. Not a huge amount yet, but we'll see what happens over the next little while. Deconnect, by the way, in closing, seems like it is pumping again too. God damn. It hasn't moved, still at 94.05, but still, significant number. Guys, when this gets to a 10 million market cap, dinner's on me. You know what I mean? So I guess that's it. So this is not financial advice. My name's Believes. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate everybody. Hold tight. Hold on to this thing. Don't let it go. And very soon, we're all going to be rewarded. So we'll see you guys again in the morning for breakfast with Believes. Have a good night, guys, and we'll see you in the morning.